Yeah, so I have no problem with it. I prefer my, theoretically, I have no problem with it. I very much prefer to replace the foods that they cannot restrict. So pragmatically speaking, if the behavior, the reward-seeking behavior is chocolate or ice cream, for me, it was ice cream and chocolate. Sometimes it's potato chips. I'd much rather prefer replacing it with a low-carb alternative and not having to tell them you can't have it, right? So if somebody tells me they're binge eating, it's always Nova 4 food. 100% of binge eating is always ultra-processed food, okay? So we will replace the foods with low-carb versions. We'll give them time. We'll teach them tools to understand what's driving them to eat. And so I prefer the behavioral approach. And there's nothing wrong with leveraging the ketones for fuel, for both fuel and for potentially stabilizing the brain.
Yeah, in the days, I think.
Yeah, but I prefer to use it. I've used exogenous ketones out of maybe 1,000 patients twice. So we'll consider it, but I much prefer the education and the preparation defenses, right? Why are you hungry? Why are you going to these foods? Explaining to patients and then giving them an alternative. And here in the States, there's an alternative for everything. And not that those foods are healthy, it just helps them stay low carb enough that we can start to mount ketones, and then we can wait for their appetite suppressed while we support real foods and then push them into fasting. So we've had a lot of success with that protocol. And the paper you talked about with this binge eating, it was one patient who literally could not stop eating pizza until it hurt, okay, several times a week. And another patient who would, in the middle of the night, go out and buy chocolate. Okay, so, and this has been going on for years. So rather than, I like the idea of giving the patients a way out. Like, here, you want your chocolate? Here's chocolate. You want the pizza? Here's the way to make pizza. And they use it. They're like, what? Really? A weight loss doctor telling me I could eat pizza? And then they eat it. The next day they come in. They're like, I've never felt so full in my life.
Yes.